Hi everyone, and welcome to another posture session with me, Jo Andrews. Nice day to be doing something warm inside and looking after our bodies. So today, as promised, I have brought a focus on feet for you. Not only applicable to those of you who might have foot problems like bunions, flat feet, calluses, corns, tendinitis, etc. But also for those of you who don't spend a lot of time with your feet in motion during the day. So this foot session is for everybody and anybody. Our feet, hi Irene, morning there. Our feet carry our structure upon them. You know, we look after our feet, we spend lots of money buying fancy shoes for our feet, we pamper our feet, and yet maybe just getting our feet out of their shoes and out of their socks and just appreciating them for all of that they do and can do is maybe where we should start. So if our feet don't move fully and use and sort of manipulate those muscles well, then they start to lose their function and we end up walking differently. We bear our weight differently over both of our feet, and that's when problems can occur, okay? Because if our foot pattern and our walk pattern isn't balanced and fully functional, then of course our knees are going to respond, our hips respond, all the way up the body, and we're going to get problems. So let's take care of those wonderful feet. Let's show them some appreciation today. So you will need a bit of space like me here in your room, and you will also need a strap. So a dressing gown strap is great, a tie, a belt, a scarf, something like that is absolutely fine. Don't need to have any special equipment. And so if you can grab that, that would be great. We're going to start though by lying down on the floor, just lying straight. Let your body just flop and relax how it would naturally be. And then we're just going to take a little bit of stock as to how our natural foot pattern is as we look down at our feet. So my feet are flopping out to the side, quite natural for us to have this occur. But to do our exercises, we want to create this link and remind the body that it operates as a whole unit from feet right the way through up to the tops of our head. Okay, so I'm going to look down and set my body right to start with. Okay, so I'm looking down at my feet now, and I want to make sure my feet are hip distance apart. So you might think, well, how do I know if I'm lying down here looking at the sky? So I'll give you a quick tip. If I bring my legs together, and then I make a little V in my feet. And then I have a little peek down, look at my toes, and then I'm going to set my heels just underneath my toes. Okay, that's approximately your hip width apart, my hip width apart. It's a good place to start. And then you're going to start by tightening up your thighs. So I want to tense my thighs and flex my feet. So already I'm making a connection from feet to knee to hip. Okay. Next job is to look down and check that my feet are fully functional. That means they're functioning in their correct position. We know that as we move, if our feet are pointing straight ahead and slightly turned in, then the muscle recruitment and movement of the joints from that position is going to be really well balanced, and that will translate to the rest of our body. So my feet have switched on, flat feet, slightly turned in, and all I'm going to do is lift my right knee so it's above my right hip. This underneath leg staying really strong and tight, and my bent knee, my bent leg, that lower leg is parallel to the ground. So it's not up here, it's parallel. Okay, so I can't see my foot now as I look down towards my knee. Fantastic. And now you're just going to start to move from the ankle joint. And you might think, well, what's different about this than any other sort of foot circles in any other position that I might do them? Well, a couple of things are. One, our straight left leg as we circle in one direction here is stabilizing our pelvis. It's keeping in line with our shoulders because we're lying on that flat surface. And the position of this leg is ensuring that I get full range of movement in my ankle joint, okay? Change direction, nice big circles. So dipping into that big pot of jam, scraping out every last corner of spread from your jar, big, big circles. And you should start to feel a burn on your shin, on your calf, and that's a good indication that your postural muscles, your standing postural muscles, are switching on, and that maybe we're not using them fully as we go about our everyday life. Now then, let's have our last exercise on this side, point and flex. So a common mistake when we're doing these foot exercises is to kind of get your body sort of rocking a little bit and getting your knee involved. So I want you to be really mindful and ensure that this movement is just coming from your ankle as you move forward and back on that right leg. Check your left leg hasn't gone to sleep and switched on and gone soft. Still nice and tight in that thigh. I'm just going to do 3 more, 2 and 1. Okay, so put that burning exercise leg down. Okay, I'm going to have a look again down at my feet, check that I haven't put my legs together, and set up on my left side. So my right leg now is tight. I'll give you a different view, then you can see what's going on. My left knee is in line with my hip. I haven't drawn that foot into the midline, kept it right in line with my hip. And then I'm circling the foot again in the ankle joint on my left side. So I cannot see, as I look at my knee here and my head's relaxed on the ground, that's really important. I can't see my foot up here because then my leg would not be in the right position. I want it parallel to the ground, nice deep circles, thinking about that jar of jam. Maybe even you're going to treat yourself to some ice cream later on. Scraping out the last dregs of that tub of ice cream, change direction, big circles. And maybe you're noticing, or maybe you have noticed on the other side compared to this, that one side feels a bit smoother than the other. Maybe this side feels a bit clunky, or maybe it was the other side. Or maybe your circles just feel a little bit juddery, a little bit restricted. Okay. Move into your point flexes now. So reaching, dipping in and out, checking that that underneath leg is still really nice and strong and tight. And when we look at posture correction in the other classes that I run, the longer classes, or I work with on one-to-one with a client, then often foot mobility like this, it features in our sort of menus of exercises, if you like, to help correct. Because if we're not loading, you can relax that foot now. If we're not loading those feet correctly, then, you know, the rest, we can't hope to make a difference in the rest of our body. So you can see I'm quite passionate about feet. They're not very clean, but they're working well. So I'm going to go down with my strap now. Okay. And I want you to have that strap handy, but bend your knees now. So this is what's known as hook lying position. You can see that I'm lying like a hook, and you'll notice that my feet are still pointing straight ahead, slightly turned in. Okay, so have a little check that that's what's going on with you, and then lie down on the floor. I'm going to keep my knees hip distance apart, and if you want a little cheats way of doing that again, you measure a fist and a half between your knees. Keep that space as you pop your feet down on the ground. Brilliant. Grab a hold of your strap and pop it under the ball of your foot on, let's all stay on the same side, on your right foot. So you can see that it's not on my toes, it's on the ball of my foot. My first position, as I just kind of let that leg hang into my strap here, is to have my knees parallel to one another. Okay. Can you see? So I'm not bringing them together, and I'm just going to hang here for a minute. Good job, I've got my timer quite near. And all I want you to really look at as you let that leg hang in the strap is we want a straight knee. I'm not tightening the thigh and I'm not flexing the foot deliberately. I'm just letting that leg hang, but I want this limb to be straight. And I'm going to adjust my foot position on this straight limb. Can you see how it's moving the whole of this leg so that my foot isn't out like this? So that I'm still maintaining good foot position in this, what is one, a calf stretch, and two, it's going to really help align my ankle with my knee, with my hip. All right. So if you are someone who has tight calves very regularly, or you notice that you look at your shoes and you're wearing your shoes out more on one side than another, then there's a good chance that there is a little bit of imbalance in your foot that we need to address, and it might make the whole difference to the rest of you, the way your body responds. Okay, bring yourself back to hook lying position. We're still going to take the right leg, but I just want to remind the body of that hip distance apart first, and then back on with the strap, same leg, right leg, but this time you're going to position your strap underneath the arch of your foot. Can you see right in the middle of my foot? I'm still letting the leg hang here, but this time I'm going to let that leg come up a little bit higher. Now, it doesn't matter if it won't come higher. What we don't want is we do not want a bent knee, because that sort of chain of communication from hip to knee to ankle, we're going to distort that. And we want to create a really solid, aligned leg, foot and ankle, don't we? So I'm keeping that knee straight. My strap position is really important. It's changed. And I'm just letting that leg hang here. I'm not pushing my heel up to the sky. I will be getting a natural stretch down the back of my leg. But most importantly, those bridges in your feet, the arches and the bones that create these, and the ligaments that create these lovely structural sort of bridges in your feet, are being asked to stretch. So that when we stretch them and when we move them and we exercise them and we keep them nice and flexible, our feet stay and will carry our weight in a really balanced way. And that's what we want. Okay, changing size now. I'm going to come back into hook lying position. Remember, knees are hip width apart. And then I'm back now onto the left side, that first position. So my strap goes underneath the ball of my foot, maintaining this hip distance between, if you like, that space between my knees. And then I'm just letting that leg hang in the strap. I'm not bouncing it, but I want to keep that knee straight. And again, you can see that if I change the position of my foot from my hip joint, which is the difference, I'm not doing it from the ankle, doing it from my hip, that whole leg starts to act and starts to line itself up in a much more functional, strong position. It's like, imagine you were sitting on a chair and you were slightly tipped over two legs of the chair. You were sort of balancing on the edges of those legs. Ultimately, those legs are going to crumble, aren't they? They're not, that weight isn't distributed evenly. So this is kind of what we're trying to do with our feet and ankles. Those weightlifters, your ankles are the weightlifters in the body. They're the first loading joint. They're so important. Okay, let's shift that strap. Now, we know that we need to stay hip distance apart on our knees. So we've got that space there. We're not coming together. And I'm gently just bringing that leg a little bit closer. The most important thing is that I've changed position of the strap. So if it means that you can start to feel, oh, my leg's having to bend to get it nearer, don't have the leg nearer. Okay? So just really trust that one limb. We've made this one limb without any joints, so that we've got this sort of, connected set of circuit, if you like, on this left side. So I like to sort of think of those loading joints, the ankles, the knees, hips and shoulders as a circuit. And when we break the circuit, then we lose the strength and we lose that power, if you like. So just checking that your foot isn't flopping out and that you've got a nice straight knee. Remembering to breathe, a lot to think about. Sometimes that concentration can make us sort of hold our breath. Nice. It's important that I did a timed exercise on both those sides and we're nice and even. Okay, so I want you to now come onto your hands and knees for our next exercise, where we start to try and link that work that we've just done in our feet with the rest of our body. So hands are underneath shoulders to start, but I want you to have a little look at my position. I've got like a square shape underneath my body, but I'm going to change that. What I want to do is move my hand one hand's length forward, same with the other. I've still got space between my knees as I look back, yeah, and I'm not bringing my feet together behind me, so my feet are in line with my knees. But my shoulder position is changing now, so I bring my shoulders above my wrists. I haven't come down with my pelvis, so I've just shifted shoulders above wrists, but you can see that I've got this, my hips are a little bit forward of my knees, absolutely right, where we want to be. Keep your elbows really straight and then let your shoulder blades sink together. And let your head hang. And this exercise takes our body out of that compensated, curved over position that we kind of seem to associate with bad posture, although posture is about the whole body working in a balanced way. If you've noticed that about yourself, this exercise is great. So nice deep breath here. Listen to your body as always. So if you are feeling, oh, I've had enough now, have a little rest, wait for us to move on to the next one. But I'm just really encouraging those shoulders to sink together. Now, if my elbows are bent when I do this, I am bringing imbalance from the rest of my body through into my shoulders. I don't want to do that. So if my range of movement is small, it doesn't matter. Just keep that limb really straight, elbows straight. And I've had, clients really have benefit from this exercise for neck tension as well, for migraines. It really releases tension in the head and neck as well. So let that head hang. Find a deep breath here if you haven't done already. And gently, if you can, sit back towards your heels just for a moment. Bring the knees together and have a little curl down for a minute. Nice. Lovely. Take your time coming up. Going to find a wall to be against for our last sort of official foot exercise, if you like, and then I'm going to do a lovely little relaxation with you. So I hope I've done, yes, got the whole wall in this time. Didn't manage it the time before. So what I want you to do is, first of all, stand against your wall. Have a look down at your feet. You can see mine are still hip distance apart. And then I'm just going to hold onto the wall behind me, shuffle my feet forward, keeping them hip distance apart, and place my lower back on the wall. My knees are above my ankles, feet are slightly turned in, they're level, my toes are level. I'm not down too far, and I haven't got my legs, my feet right back against the wall. Okay, so I'm down here, ankles underneath my knees. I'm not going to be here for too long, so don't worry if you suddenly got there and thought, goodness me, this is hurting. I want your palms up, and I want you to press the lower back into the wall. You are pushing in your heels, and what we're doing here is we are absolutely taking that message through from our shoulders into our quads, into our powerhouse, into the pelvis, and through into the heels. Keep that good foot position and you can't go wrong. Keep pressing into your heels. I'm just going to count you down now. 5, 4, push into those heels, try and burst a hole through the wall. 3, 2, and 1. This position, this exercise is known as air bench. Come away from the air bench, find a chair or a sofa to be against, and let's have a little connect, little relaxation to finish on this Monday lunchtime. So I'm going to use my chair, static back, one that we will always include in our sessions together. And even if you come to a session and you're not feeling tip top, or something, you know, you've really got a sore knee today, anybody thinking, I'm going to do all the exercises, but it's not feeling good when I start, just join us and stay in static back and listen to the exercises, listen to the information, and, you know, have a good 20 minutes in this position. It's not going to do you any harm at all. So my knees are above my hips, legs are straight out, so ankles in line with knees, feet are floppy and relaxed. Palms of my hands are facing up towards the sky. And I am in this space between the morning and whatever is coming next. So let's put a little tent over ourselves, which closes off the day this far and doesn't allow us in the day that's coming. Let's let our thoughts drift up and outside the roof of the tent. And inside this space is warmth and comfort, space, time, and nothing else matters here. If your mind drifts off into thoughts, just gently encourage the thoughts to float through the tiny holes in your canvas and wait for you outside, because we'll get to those later on. Notice how relaxed your body's feeling here. And if there was one special quality that you would love to just step into and absorb, that would really make a difference to how you're feeling today, name it in your mind, imagine it in your tent, and find 3 deep breaths and inhale as much of that quality as you can. Let yourself fill up on it, let yourself feed up on it. And when that 3rd breath is done, before we step out of the tent, cast your mind, your awareness down to those feet. Give them the credit. They are strong. They are very, very strong allies of ours. Show them a bit of appreciation. And then when you're ready to zip up out that tent, jump into your day ahead. I'm hoping that whatever it brings for you, you've got a little bit of that quality with you to get you through today and into the rest of your week. I look forward to joining you again next week. This foot sequence is for everyone. Share it with your friends and feel free to do it again. Thank you for your company today, and I look forward to seeing you again next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.